Good afternoon to you all, friends, on the dais and off the dais. Welcome to all my distinguished colleagues and senior friends. This is the very important session. I am very honored and privileged to moderate this important discussion on bridging policy and technology to achieve universal access to clean water and sanitation. This session comes at a critical time when India has made it rapid strides under flagship program like Jal Jeevan Mission and Swachh Bharat Mission for transformative movements of hope and empowerment. As we all know, India has achieved open defecation free status in 2019, which is much before SDG 6 target of 2030. Similarly, today more than 15.65 crore rural households have access to tap water connection at their premises under Jal Jeevan Mission. But still there are some critical challenges remains, especially in last mile delivery, sustainability and service quality. Water and sanitation are foundation to public health, dignity, gender equality and economic productivity. The gaps are not merely infrastructural but also institutional, behavioral and technological. To move from access to sustainability, we need policy coherence, real-time data and community ownership. Technology must act as a bridge, not as a barrier. So I request all my co-panelists to conclude within the limited time, as the coordinator is saying that Honorable CM's arrival is preponed. So let us confine our discussion for 40 minutes only. Let us say 6 members. So hardly 6 to 7 minutes only each one will get them. So let us keep this fact in our mind while discussing. And anyhow, all are very senior officers, and we know that the people who are sitting there, their receptive capacity is very less after 3 or 4 minutes. I know that. So that's why I'm saying. So now I ask Sri Nilkanth Avhad sir, Punjab. So sir, Punjab has made strides in improving rural and urban wash services. How are you addressing the challenge of water source sustainability, especially in overexploited or water-stressed areas? This is first point. Second point, what institutional bottlenecks do you face in ensuring equitable wash access, especially for vulnerable populations? How can we converge between departments like rural development, health, and urban local bodies to improve outcomes? Sir.
Good afternoon. Am I audible? Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks to Government of Kerala and Elets for making this possible for all of us. And thank you all that we know we are sitting, not standing, we are sitting between you and your lunch. So we'll be to the point. Yeah, just to give a little background about the water and sanitation sector in rural Punjab particularly. We were the 5th state in the country to achieve the Har Ghar Jal status, that is FSTC, Functional Household Tap Connection in every household. We achieved this in 2023. And in 2018, we became the ODF free state. As we are discussing about all these 3 topics which were raised before me, the bridging the gap between the policy and technology. So policy was laid down before JJM, like 2014, Punjab came up with its water and sanitation policy, where we committed that we will provide 70 LPCD. National objective is 55. Punjab is providing 70 LPCD water to every rural household, potable quality water in adequate quantity, which is 70 LPCD. And then by the time the JJM came, we were 49% of our target. And after the JJM, we reached the 100% in 23. ODF we achieved in 2018, and we are sustaining continuously. The last survey told that 99% of the people are using the toilets, and then it's a sustained effort in the ODF. And now we're in the next phase of ODF, where we are talking about the liquid waste management and the solid waste management and the visible cleanliness of the village. So these things are achieved because of the sustained policy effort. Like 2007, we started the first World Bank project. 15, there was a second World Bank project. There was a hand-holding, lot of inputs going from the user perspective, from the policy makers, from the World Bank experience. And then the state started moving in that direction. And finally, we reach a destination in one sense in 2023. But we know it is never the end. It's just a beginning of a new era. So the post management, how we are, the particularly technology aspect of it and the coordination aspect of it, and the challenge in it. So if you look at the one aspect, like as all the systems in government, we evolve as a response to something. Like we plan. Like for example, you require to design water distribution systems. You will say, let's have EPANET because EPANET is effective and it helps you to prepare the designs in an effective manner. Then you say, okay, but then how the estimates to be prepared? So we came up with the EPMS. So EPMS was basically the how do you prepare the estimate. So you have the CSR, you have the design aspects from the EPANET, and then you come and you have a project which is ready, which will help you to give a technical sanction, will help you to give administrative approval. And after that, you move to the execution. So for project management, either you hire IVA or you develop your own tool and go into project management. The financial aspects, earlier we have got something called IFMS, PFMS. Now all of us are moving to the SNS Sparsh. The monitoring goes, we have got IoT. If the projects come up, we have got the SCADA system. So again, a different level of technology. We want to track the assets, so we have a Jal Seva. You say you need to have a bill collection from the people, so you come with M-Gram Seva mobile app, which will help you to collect the bills for the people. And I can go on adding some more apps. So the point I'm trying to make is that in the process of ensuring that, yes, we are monitoring, we are designing, we are developing, we end up developing so many apps, softwares, platforms, that at times it becomes quite confusing for the people, both the administrators, the engineers, the users. So I think now we are trying to move towards developing to integrate these things. So interoperability is the most important aspect of the any system, I believe, because unless your data talks to each other, otherwise I will be designing a very beautiful water supply system, and my one division, which is on the border of the other division, one village doesn't have water, the other has adequate or surplus water, and I can simply have a pipeline from that project to this project, rather than I will start building a new project unless my data tells me. Similarly, we have got a LIMS, that is a laboratory information management system. So all 13,000 villages and 8,500 water sources, we test twice a year. Our NABL accredited lab do the job. But again, unless that LIMS are integrated into by the water requirement and the app study, I will not be able to tell that which village has a quality problem and which is the nearest source which don't have a quality problem. Not only that, but it has a surplus water as well. So that I can draw water from there, and rather than building a new project, I can just use my surplus capacity in a particular project. So this is one aspect of it. So obviously we interact with the health for their data, as you have mentioned. We interact with the rural development, because in solid waste management particularly, they have most important role to play. The technology part of it, yes, moving ahead, like in SWM, I'll just give an example that at times we try to complicate things, or we just see that one solution which we believe to be ultimate solution, whereas there can be low-cost solutions and people can be happy with that, and there can be incremental improvement in the things, rather than saying that there should be quantum jump and one day there should be no COD, no BOD, and all my village tanks or the village water tanks, what we call chappad in Punjab, they should be clean with parameters. Just give a small example. We have something called a Thapar model in Punjab, which is a very popular thing, which helps really a gravity-based system, which helps to ensure that your the common village pond water remains clean whenever all the village streams or the sewerage systems, they come to the pond, and then you use this model, gravity-based model, but it's slightly costly model. So it is like it costs between 15 lakh to 35 lakh to use it in a system. So just there is an alternate technology which is called nanobubble technology. We are experimenting. So we launched a pilot in 5-6 villages, and I went to see that last month. A 30 kilometer from Chandigarh, and IIT open engineers, our engineers, and everyone was there. And we started saying, okay, this is doing good, but still it is not able to control the COD, it is not able to BOD, the TSS is not in control. So we are not getting the desired quality of water, and that is what we are looking at. And when we were discussing, we thought, okay, we may have to stop a pilot and we do it. The villagers were standing there. They all came and they said, sir, what is your opinion? I said, okay, whatever we have to do, we take our samples to the lab, test it, come up with the result, and then find out whether it is useful or not. Whereas the people said, sir, two things we just want to say, that since you are using this technology, there is to be a lot of foul smell in the water. That entire smell has gone away. Second, there is to be a lot of mosquitoes. You are standing at the place. A month ago, we were not able to stand at this place. And these two things we find are the great gift of this model. Whereas all my system was devised to tell me whether my BOD, COD, TSS are in control or not. The people found that the two are best benefits they are getting at a very low cost. Against 25 lakh, they are paying 5 lakh. They are not paying, we are investing 5 lakh and getting it. So when you are finding the solution, the user experience is very important, and the user should be involved at the, I think, every stage. That one should keep it in mind. So these are the two issues. If we get the second round, I would like to give another example. But at this moment, I think interoperability and the user involvement, these two things we keep in mind, I think we are bound to deliver the better service and at the low cost. Thank you.
Sir, thank you so much, sir. Nilkanth sir, for your 12-minute extempore speech. Even the technical facts also at your fingertips, and you spoke very well, including this AI utility in water supply. Punjab is progressive state. I know. I have had an experience, wonderful experience of working with sir for Budanala Rejuvenation Project under National River Conservation Directorate. Now, I request Miss Neha Arora ji. Jharkhand has many tribal and hard to reach areas. How are you leveraging local governance systems like Gram Panchayats to ensure inclusive planning and delivery of water and sanitation services? This is number one. Number two, what digital tools or innovations are currently being deployed to enhance efficiency, transparency, and service quality? Can you share a state-specific example of how technology has directly benefited wash delivery?
Thank you so much, sir, for your questions. Good afternoon, everyone. Regarding the first question of providing services, drinking water and sanitation services in the hard-to-reach areas of the state, to familiarize everybody with the state topography. So the state has hills, plateaus, and over 35% of the state is forested, and over 25% is densely forested. And we have scheduled tribe population, 27% residing in the state. And we have primitive tribal groups, which are now called as particularly vulnerable tribal groups. So over 20 of such groups also exist in the state. And the population of primitive tribal groups is mostly based in the very core of the forest region. Or if we say the hardest to reach areas are the areas where the particularly vulnerable tribal population resides. And it is definitely a challenge to reach them on two grounds. One is the geography, due to which the projects which are planned, for them to reach to their area requires additional estimates. Rather than that, estimates is a minor problem with the system. But the second major concern comes when the supply is given through the drinking water projects. The population in those areas, they are very used to the local water sources which they have, which are the natural springs. So if you all must have tasted water of springs, nothing can match that. And sir, like our especially water which we supply, we treat it, there is chemical treatment of water, there is an order which comes, which is not very acceptable to them. So that becomes a major challenge. So in spite of, the project being laid on the ground, the water being delivered to their households, but still they will use it for other purposes barring the drinking water. They'll use it for washing their cattle, washing their clothes, for agriculture purposes. So it defeats our purpose. So how to go ahead with this challenge? So we have visited a number of pockets. So for instance, there is a Pahadia population which resides in Sahibganj district of the state. Sahibganj district is located at the easternmost corner of the state, and it is Ganga bordering also. So over there are other water quality concerns because being water rich, there is arsenic contamination also which is there. But regarding this Pahadia community which I was mentioning, so we visited the Tola where they were residing to interact with the community, like, showing them the test which we have. In Jharkhand, we have Jal Sayyas. So Jal Sayyas are our village level front runners of the department. So Jal Sayyas, they provide all the awareness related information to the citizens. to the villagers for both drinking water and sanitation. And all Jal Sayyas carry with them a field testing kit. So it's called as an FTK. So with FTK, it's only the color change with which they can demonstrate to the villagers, like, see, this is, the acceptable range in which all the parameters lie. There is no contamination. But, logic, it all falls short. So they say that where is the taste in this? But taste is not one of our parameters, sir. So it takes time. We drink from the same source. We sit with them. So we gradually, tell them the benefits, because if there is a bacteriological contamination of the source, what actually the health hazards can come to your community. So a lot of convincing is required, and for this, the involvement of Gram Panchayats is very crucial. Gram Panchayats, and in the areas where the tribal population is located, we have Gram Pradhans there. So first, our interaction is with them. We sit at their place, and we try to understand the issue through them, and it is through the Gram Panchayats that we connect to the villagers. So regarding the water supply which is being given through the Jal Jeevan Mission, we ensure that the quality is also maintained and that is demonstrated to the people timely. And then the interaction with the public representatives, it has a very important role for acceptability of the water which is being provided to them. In Jharkhand, if I say, or even anywhere other also, I think in general, there are two types of contamination issues majorly. One is geogenic. Geogenic is what is related to the geology of the place. Like in Jharkhand, we have arsenic contamination, we have fluoride contamination, and there are a lot of mining areas in the state. Jharkhand is known for its mineral reserves. So iron contamination, these all are very common. The second type of contamination is anthropogenic contamination, which is man-made. So we have a lot of industries also located. So industrial contamination or other anthropogenic contamination is there. So the field test kits, which I was mentioning, they have been given to all the Jal Sayyas on ground. And we have 29,500 Jal Sayyas. We have villages 29,377, and some villages are larger in size. So they have more than one Jal Sayya. So they are our ground workers who ensure that whatever is the mandate of the department is translated to the community in their language. Field test kits have been provided to them, and they have also been translated in their local languages, so that for them also it's easy to understand and they're in a better position to convince the community. Coming over to your second question, sir, regarding the innovative thing adopted by the state. I had a small presentation for that, but considering the paucity of time, I'll just mention it is a portal which has been developed by the state by the name Jhar Jal portal. Jhar is for Jharkhand, Jal is for water, and Jhar Jal portal has been developed by the state, in which we monitor, the real-time status of the water which is being supplied to the community. In all our water supply schemes, which can broadly be divided into single village schemes and multi-village schemes, the SVA schemes, they have an RMS installed along with the scheme. So through the remote monitoring system, when the pump was switched on, when the pump was switched off, what is the quantity of water which was provided. So all that data through sensor comes to centralized server, from which we are able to monitor the delivery of drinking water to the villagers. And also as a pilot, IoT, in which sensors have been, they are being used to monitor any leakages in the system and the distribution network. Because supplying water over a period of time, this is fine, but whether the water is coming at the pressure which the people want the water to come. So there are pressure sensors also, leak sensors also, quality sensors installed in them. So the data from these sensors is centrally received at our servers, and there's a real-time monitoring of the kind of service delivery which is happening. This portal has another uniqueness, which is for grievance redressal. So in grievance redressal, in case somebody gives a complaint through WhatsApp, through web portal, directly through the mobile app, they can register their complaints. And then there is we have right to service. Similarly, the complaints are disposed in a time-bound manner. And drinking water is an area where not only drinking water supply department is involved, but a number of other departments are involved as well. Many of the schemes have been taken up by panchayats at their level, and Panchayati Raj is a different department there in our state. Drinking water sanitation is a different department. Then there are various schemes, which have been installed by the District Mineral Trust Fund, DMFT fund. Because Jharkhand being a mineral-rich area, we have enormous DMFT fund in the districts, which the district administration uses to ensure drinking water services, especially to the mining-affected areas. So all the schemes which have been taken up under that. Other than that, the local MLA fund, MP fund, and the various other funds. Is there time, sir? Okay, sir.
Conclude.
Yeah, I'll conclude, sir. So this portal, it gives us a platform for convergence also because of time-bound grievance redressal. So the issue related to the department is transferred to them and it is resolved in a time-bound manner, is being monitored by the department centrally also. Thank you so much, sir. Yeah.
Thank you, Ms. Neha Arora, for enlightenment how the Jharkhand government is ensuring clean and hygiene drinking water for its citizens, including this Pahadia system of that Sahibganj district. As we know that under Namami Gange, National Mission for Clean Ganga also, there are many projects in Sahibganj district. Thank you for your enlightenment. Now I request Dr. Divya S. Iyer to say on solid and liquid waste management is closely linked to wash outcomes. What innovative and decentralized models are you piloting in Kerala to ensure holistic sanitation and environmental hygiene? First one. Second one, how are you ensuring Jan Bhagidhari in your programs? What role does behavior change play in sustaining gains? Your time is only 5 minutes, at least. The home care people should take care. Otherwise, people will go away and they are already feeling hungry.
We definitely want to treat our guests with all the warmth, so I will not make you sit for too long. Just a couple of limited points here. In Kerala, we consider waste more as a verb than as a noun. Waste is waste. It can be a thing, but you can also say that waste is not a waste until you waste it, right? So until you actually waste it, waste is not considered a waste. So it's more of a verb than a noun. Hope you get it. So, we try and collect waste scrupulously. That's where it all begins. When you talk about my waste, my responsibility, we all obviously take the responsibility for the waste that we produce, but we do not know what to do with it. So we are helping common people at that front, and hence the primary force which is responsible for waste collection in Kerala is the Harisankar Sena, as we call them. They're the green warriors of the state in order to keep the state clean and green. This is an exclusive model of Kerala, which we present to the rest of the world with great pride, because it's the first arguably decentralized model of door-to-door waste collection of non-biodegradable waste, which has spun across a state, an entire state, not just a city, but an entire state, and which is completely or near completely, pun intended, manned by women. So we have around 36,700 women who are members of the Harisankar Sena in the state of Kerala. And if we look at the figures and statistics, in the last 1 year, there has been a revenue generated of around 350 crore rupees just by door-to-door collection of non-biodegradable waste from around 85 lakh households, which amounts to a garbage of around 65,000 tons. That's a lot of numbers, I know, but that also says that our door-to-door collection is nearing 100%. It is not 100% as of now, but we are continuously striving towards ensuring that the door-to-door collection of non-biodegradable waste reaches near 100%. So that is the first step in the decentralized model that we are talking about. And in the couple of minutes left, I want to also talk about the technology. So this is completely manual, as you can imagine, how women actually go from door to door and collect non-biodegradable waste in a hygienic manner with proper protective gear and all of that. So let me also talk about the technology that we use in this, which is called a Harita Mitram app, which completely tracks every single household collection as well as the user fee payment and also the amount of waste that's being collected from each household. So this helps us actually track what happens to the waste once it's collected by them when it goes to the mini MCFs, the material collection facility, which is the MCF, and then where the sorting happens, then the segregation, then the resource collection facility, the resource recovery facility, and then finally to wherever it is destined. So the Harita Mitram app it's a very as Sir was mentioning, there are too many apps in every department that we work, but here we have tried to integrate it all together, and it's just one, and everybody works on that front, and right from the user to the person on the field who is actually doing the door-to-door collection, to the war room and the control room and the entire state all together. It's integrated into one app so that we can actually even track the vehicles which carries the waste across the state. So the Harita Mitram 2.0 is just to be unfurled in the upcoming week, wherein we'll also have the GPS tracker of all the vehicles involved. So that's what we are doing on the solid waste front in the decentralized model. Just to pick your brains, I would want to leave you with a thought as to how is this obviously connected with, as he was mentioning, the WASH outcomes. So, my colleague is here who deals with the water department. So since I'm dealing with only solid waste management and not really the grey water or the liquid waste management, but we also know that this gets combined very, very easily. And so in order to ensure that the legacy waste that has been dumped across the state in various points, we are also doing a dump site remediation process, which is actively going on at 20 sites across Kerala now, which is one of the flagship projects of the Kerala Solid Waste Management Project, the KSWMP. And, we are recovering over 5 lakh tons of legacy waste that's been dumped irresponsibly over several decades. And we are about to recover around 66 acres of land in prime urban areas through this very scientific method. So that is, one step closer towards not contaminating water. But also, as I said, I would want to pick your brains by just, leaving you with probably we should start taking some inspiration from the Universal Waste Management System adopted by NASA and the space technology, because the best way to keep waste away from contaminating water is to not mix them together, right? That's the easiest way to do it. And the amount of water that we actually pump into just sanitation, just to clean the fecal matter, is ridiculous, as we all know. Why mix fecal matter and water? Find out ways to actually compost and degrade the biodegradable biological fecal matter without mixing it with water is the straightforward idea towards actually not contaminating water. But obviously it takes a lot more than just picking our brains. But it is in fact interesting and also encouraging to know that there are research studies and students who are working on developing technologies in order to figure out how can we actually dry compost fecal matter as well. So I'm hoping that during our lifetime we could come up with something to save water from being mixed with fecal matter just for sanitation purposes. So that's all that I would want to say.
Thank you so much, Dr. Divya S. Iyer, for your enlightenment speaking on how this Kerala is excelling in solid waste management through Harita Karmasena and Harita Mitram apps. And I once again request all panelists, their time is maximum 5 to 6 minutes only. And I request the organizers, if possible, to keep one bell here or to run that clock. Okay, now I request Dr. Binu Francis. Questions are, what are the digital solutions Kerala Water Authority is adopting, and how are you building the digital capacities of field staff and engineers to ensure seamless adoption and long-term use of these technologies? Second one, what are your top priorities or reforms needed to scale WASH solutions across India using policy tech synergy? Dr. Binu.
Thank you. See, Kerala Water is the sole agency in Kerala to source and transmit and distribute water supply in entire state except Thrissur. Thrissur Corporation, they are providing the water from the bulk supply of Kerala Water Authority. That's we are cover around 60% of the total population, irrespective of urban and rural, and we have more than 54.8 lakhs connection. Of course, due to JJM, that's we have additional connection of 20.99 lakhs. That has been from 2020 onwards. So coming to technical technology part, that's we have 28 software within the system, and 6 is for the front end, and this is for the consumers, like paying the bill and getting the connections and their grievance redressal. That's one of the beauties ETAP. That's if you want a connection to a particular building, that's of course you can raise your demand. Then you will go to the particular offices and they will visit the site and give the supply if there is infrastructure. Normally it will take around 7 days. Like you can see how the process is going on within a dashboard. One thing. The second thing is a column. That's the complaints. If you have any complaints, again you can raise. If it may be sometimes maybe bill, sometimes maybe the quality of the water or something, or the quantity of the water, etc. So we are receiving around 963 on an average complaints per day, and for which that's we are addressing the same on an average 80-90. Of course, the issues there. Then this is something related to the consumers, and the second thing is related to the HR. That's we are around 28,000 HR, including the pensioners and the temporary and the permanent. So again, other within the internal system, that's we have another 14 or 16 this software is there for the contract management and procure management, and for the movement side of the goods that we have, and the quality to ensure the quality. Still, that's we have some space for this improvement. Of course, that's a Kovalam. That's a billing software that we are developing in 2008, which needs more vibrant thing. That's just now that's we are also saying, and it is a process. It can be incorporated in our system by August. That's the original. This Abacus is designed for only for 20 lakhs consumers. Now we have 45 lakhs consumers. So it's an integrated system. This is one thing. The second thing is almost all the office files are e-file. So at different points of level, we are giving this training on a daily basis, or sometimes frequently within 3 months. Again, if there is new software like a Praise or something like this management of this HR, new version is coming. Yeah, that's we are going. Of course, this is being an engineering institution. More than 55% of the total this HR is from the technical background. They can capture very easily. Of course, we are using almost all the technologies, including this mapping our assets, and for automation of almost all the inventory, including pumping and everything. So where we need some kind of space, there is of course a space. We are exploring that kind of technology, of course, so that we can have some seamless flow of water to the end point. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Binu, for your crisp explanation how the digital solutions of Kerala Water Authority is working for universal access to clean water and sanitation. Now I request Sri Harisankar Radhakrishnan ji. What are your thoughts or insights about future of a wash-sustained country, and what are the potentialities to use technology for efficiency? And the second one, how do you ensure that the technology solutions developed by ULTS remain user-centric, scalable, and accessible even to non-tech-savvy functionaries or citizens in rural areas?
Good afternoon. I will quickly summarize in terms of, I'll take the second question first in terms of what we have done, and then probably add on to what we have actually, solved for the government and in the public sector. Let me take one of the examples that we've done, which is, say, for example, with Thrissur, what we call as water efficient Thrissur. The project was aimed at reducing water wastage, ensuring that you have the right supply of water to the residents of the municipality. What we did as part of this is basically we recreated the entire supply and distribution into a control room where you could actually monitor. And I think this is very similar to what Neha ma'am here spoke about in Jharkhand. We have a similar thing that we have done for Thrissur. And this primarily ensures that citizens have the right supply of water. And it's also a model where it can predict, for example, where there is low flow of water, which are the distribution channels that needs to be addressed, which are the ones that need to be, if you have to shut supply, how can you do it with minimal disruption to the residents? So primarily speaking about in terms of what we have done, this is an area, and we've addressed certain aspects of what I heard Madam Divya address in terms of, like, say, how do you do ensure that the waste is dumped at the right place. So we've worked with Pollution Control Board in terms of ensuring or having a GPS system that ensures the waste is dumped at the right location where it is intended to be. So these are some of the initiatives that we have. And answering the second question in terms of how are we helping or how do we ensure that these become relevant, maybe I'll point one thing which I didn't hear in this or in the previous panel is that any intelligent system that we have is intelligent enough to the extent of the data that we train. So even if you think of any AI systems, unless we have the right data that goes in, the output will primarily not be something that we would ideally like to see. So I think that's the place where we become relevant. Like, for example, if I take again one of the things that I spoke, the Thrissur water efficiency project that we did, there is a lot of right data that flows in. And as you start putting AI systems behind this, it will ensure that your predictive system becomes more relevant. And at an organization level, we have a huge focus on AI, where we have built models. And as we have more data, we would be happy to work with the right departments to ensure that we pass on the intelligence that we build and they can actually use the data to make more predictive or intelligent predictions. I'll wrap up. Thank you.
Thank you, Sri Harisankar Radhakrishnan ji, for your sharp and precise presentation on technology solutions developed by ULTS. Now, I request Sri Gaurav Kumar, ED Chennai Water Supply and Sanitation Board. I think he has succeeded Gural Kiran Kumar. Acha, okay, whatever it may be. What steps being taken to diversify sources of water from water supply? What all initiatives going to be taken by your organization, and any step which is being taken water to last consumer?
Good afternoon all, and I'll try to keep it as crisp and concise as possible given the paucity of time. So I come from Chennai Metropolitan Water Supply and Sewerage Board. So Metro Water is what we call it for practical efficiency and giving it a short term. So coming to the first question, one thing we have done is we already have a installed capacity of 360 MLD desalination plants. There are 3 desalination plants which are functioning. And another one, with the support of JICA, cost of 6,000 crore rupees is being implemented as of now. And it's going to have capacity of 400 MLD. It is going to cater to the need of 22.3 lakh of population. Number 2 is going to be, like, we are also dealing with sewerage here. So after STP, we are left with secondary treated water. What we did is, we are going with TTUF and TTRO, tertiary treated ultrafiltration and tertiary treated reverse osmosis. So we already have installed capacity of 10 MLD of TTUF and around 90 MLD of TTRO. That water is essentially being given to SIPCOT, that is industries only. More than 500 industries, we have complexes of SIPCOT wherein many industries are based. So we are providing that water so that our drinking water supply should be reduced going there. Coming to the one more aspect, like sir asked, last mile connectivity, the last consumer. There's one more project which is going to come up, and it is in the inception. DPR has been prepared already. It is a ring main, as we call it. So entire area, 426 kilometer of Greater Chennai Corporation area are 250 kilometer already, few pipeline already exist. This is going to be additional to that. It will run across whole of the GCC area as a ring like structure. So that is going to help us to connect our already existing water distribution systems and water treatment plants, so that if at all, unfortunately, water supply is impacted, source is impacted at one point of Chennai, we can at least divert the water from other part and give them the equitable supply of water. Another initiative which we took is, and it recently got concluded in February 2025, is GIS mapping. We have mapped all our resources, assets and utilities, including pipelines. That's 7,268 kilometer of water supply pipeline, 4,600 odd kilometer of sewerage pipeline, and which is still going on. We have mapped each and every asset and utility in GIS. It has 159 layers of data, and it is being actively shared and updated with the counterparts who all are working. For example, EB, Greater Chennai Corporation, which are working with us, and other departments of governments. So these are the initiatives on top of my head which we are doing as of now. Thank you. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Gaurav, for your precise presentation, how the Chennai Metro Water Supply and Sewerage Board is taking care of industries and normal citizens also. Now, I request the panelists, if any panelist, if they want to add any more for their earlier replies. Any person, briefly. Villa, next. Okay. You want to say something? No. So then the house is open for questions. If anybody wants to ask something, the panelists, they can ask. No language barrier. Because even the local officers are also there, they will reply in Malayalam if you want to ask in Malayalam. Yeah, please. Give him to mic now. No problem. You can speak. Everybody can hear.
Yeah, if like data is certainly is an issue, but if you go across the departments, that's why I say that interoperability and the integration, this is an issue. Otherwise, you'll get the data. But the major challenge, if you ask me, like in Punjab, we've got 34 lakh rural connections, the FHTC, the households. The government system, that is the Department of Water Supply Sanitation, the projects we have built, they are around 22 lakh users, and the 12 lakh people still are not a part of the department system, but they have their own sources and they're using the water from their own sources. Now, it's fine if the people believe that their water is better than the government operating system. But even the, like one of the, Moga is one of the big L&T has built a big project for us, 300 crore plus rupees have been spent to build that project because there was a problem, contamination in that area. So 85 villages are catered from that project. And initially it was intended that 67,000 people connections will be given in that area, those being households. But till date, we are able to give something between 42 to 43,000 connections, right? So the challenge is that how to convince people even that your quality of water is the best water for them. And then the parameters you believe are the right parameters on which the people should drink the water. And this drinking water is going to like improve their health. So that is a big challenge. We have got the block resource coordinators and the people working and telling them that testing FTKs and all other instruments, that this is the quality of the water you should be drinking. And if the people still believe that, okay, putting an RO purifier in the home is going to give them safer water, because maybe your systems, your tank is built at say some kilometers and then pipeline passes through that, whether there is a leakage, where there is a contamination while the water come to my home, and then doing the test even at the home level. So I think telling the people that what safe drinking water is and why the water supplied by the system that we spend crores of rupees to build and take it to you is the important to use that water in a state like particularly Punjab, where the water, like in Kerala also, the water availability should not be an issue. So I think this is from a big challenge, and that we are trying to reach out to people with various models to ensure that they use the government supplied water.
I'll share, sir.
Yeah, please.
Only 2 minutes. Okay. See, I have some experience in project executions. So only, sir, that's there is some dispute regarding. Let's say a story from Kerala. There is a dispute regarding Kerala water only LSED. What is the total number of the street taps? As per our calculation, is 1.08 lakhs. As per LSED's calculation, it is 98,000. So we go for this geotie. It is 1.29 lakhs. Happened in the last this December only. Then coming to street lights. In Calicut Corporation, that we go for a PPP, like switching over to all the incandescent light in the LED. PPP mode. Okay. Our this calculation is around 42,520 only. When we did a survey, it is around 52,000. Again, the same project is being implemented in Trivandrum Corporation. As per their calculation, it is around 98,000. Then finally, it is comes around 1.20. Now we are going for in Kochi Corporation, that's we are going for ADB projects for rehabilitating all these distribution system and all the other physical infrastructure there. As per our calculation, it is around 1.29 lakhs. 42 kilometers of distribution systems are there. So, as per the contractor has to investigate, conduct the survey for the next 1 year. It will take 1 year to finalize the contract. So, in government records, the data is not so much accurate. That's in the initial level, that's some data that updation is not happening in the real time. That is a major challenge. So once the inventory is taken into account and it is put in a database, it has to be updated. What are the transactions happening? That has to be ensured within the system. That is lagging in the government sector.
Any more question? I hope it is done. Okay. Really, it is very difficult to conduct any session just before the lunch, but however, our panelists have made very successful attempt, including all senior officers, including Nilkanth sir. I felt that they reached out to the audience very successfully regarding the motto and objective of the session. Today's session reinforced the idea that sustainable wash outcomes are only possible when we combine political will, smart technology, inclusive policies, and grassroots participation. Let's take forward these insights to build a future where safe water and sanitation is a right, not a privilege. This is wonderful and very insightful discussion. We explored how policy innovation and digital technology can come together to close the last mile gap in water and sanitation access. Our experts shared their field experiences, cross-sectoral learnings, and best practices. Our speakers emphasized breaking silos between departments and building institutional synergy to ensure integrated delivery of wash services. Use of IoT-enabled sensors, real-time water quality tracking, digital grievance redress systems, and data dashboards, and transforming how water utilities manage supply and respond to user needs. Bridging policy and technology requires a whole government and whole of society approach. I urge all stakeholders to work collectively to transform India's wash landscape into a model, digital, inclusive, and sustainable governance. Thank you. Thank you, one and all.